Hey everybody, Gallifrey Madman here, coming at you with another GLC podcast with my cohort, Dirty Ewok 75, and of course we are the original odd couple. Say hello, Ewok.
Hello, Ewok.
How are you?
Trying to get the heart rate down. You said we were recording, and then there was a silence, and I thought, okay, you're doing something, and you came in really loud. I think officially I just filled my pants.
Why?
Yeah. Fucking shit myself, mate. Honestly. You came in really loud. I wasn't expecting you to come in that loud. But yeah, the week's ended better than it started. Obviously, I got given the job. It didn't pan out. They were basically asking me to spend money for background checks that I'd already had the paperwork to say, blah blah blah. So currently unemployed, but week ended up being fantastic with all the racing that's been going on. It's been quite an eventful week, and last night was just, it's really just brought it back to why we're here and why we do what we do within the GLC. So started bad, ended up being really really good. We've got tonight to go, and as long as we keep the momentum, that little X factor we've got, it's just going to get better. I think it is.
I'm hoping so.
Very, very positive. I am.
I'm hoping so very much myself. I'm hoping we can keep up the good momentum myself. We had a great night last night. Wasn't a huge party. There was only, I don't know, 5, 6 of us, but it was a fun night.
I think there didn't seem to be any. Sometimes when you're racing, there's a little bit of pressure on you because you want to do, so well, I'll get points, or blah, blah, blah. Last night, because obviously there's no points involved really, it had a flow to it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And
yeah.
I mean, it's not like we didn't race hard. We raced very hard, especially in the Northlife.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't looked at the replays yet. I got like 3 or 4 different replays last night. Some of the nighttime ones as well. I'm going to put a little collage together. But I'm really interested in looking back and having a look at the battle between me and you on Northlife.
We had a good battle going on there.
I can't believe I raced that hard and didn't, completely total the car. Yeah, mate, yeah. And I was sweating my hoochies off. Honestly, it was fucking.
Not me in my new seat.
Yes, I know. Yes, I know. So obviously, Gally he's had a good week, I think.
Yes.
To be honest, and in case he hasn't mentioned, which I think he has, and I don't think it'll be the last time he mentions it during this podcast, is that Gally has a new butt holder. Sorry, racing seat. Racing seat is what he's got.
Yes.
Why don't you tell the troops about it, actually? Because I was looking into this, and had I done some research, I probably wouldn't have got the play seat. I'll be honest.
Yeah, well, I've never been a real big fan of the play seat or actually the design. So to be honest with you, I was quite surprised that I was drawn to the one I got because it is a very similar design to the play seat.
Yeah.
It's from a company, a UK-based company called Open Wheeler, one word, and it's just like I said, a very similar design to the play seat, but it uses an actual real car seat, and it's of course just a racing seat, not just an ordinary road car, but a real racing seat car. And instead of having metal frames around the leg wings, it's just padded. So for some of us guys that are a little bit wider than others, especially here in America, it's a little bit more comfortable because you don't have that steel frame squeezing, right on the sides of your thighs, and you just fit more comfortably. Plus, it's not leather or the fake leather that some of the rigs come with, which is what I had. So I would literally sweat like crazy when we did long sessions, and I'd be sitting there all day, and then of course I'd have a sore back or whatever, or my thighs would be numb from squeezing between that frame. But now it's a cloth uh, seat, very comfortable. So last night, after 10 hours of racing, yes, folks, I said it, we raced for 10 hours last night. While I sat in that seat, did not sweat. I was dry and I was comfortable, and I got up and my back didn't bother me. So I would 100% recommend anybody looking for a sim seat to mount a wheel to, definitely check out Open Wheeler. They are sold very predominantly, I think, on Amazon, because that's where I bought it from. And if you're a Prime
Well, you
member,
can get it from the site for about 250 quid.
yeah,
I was looking last night, yeah.
right, but it's normal shipping. But if you're a Prime member and you order from Amazon, some of the distributors on Amazon, you can get it within that 2 days shipping with the Prime.
I mean, for me, obviously, I got some PPI money. I was like, oh yeah, I can get the play seat, I can get the wheel bomb, and I kind of rushed it. I did rush it.
Yes, you did, and I was quite upset you did that instead of talking to me about it, because the first thing I would have told you is don't buy a play seat.
Well, thanks for speaking up, mate. Thank you. You know, it's comfortable enough, apart from the fact that you've got the steel frame.
Yeah.
I was looking last night after we finished racing, and I reckon I can. There's room there to maybe sort of push some padding up just to take that edge off the frame.
Mm-hmm.
And I was going to go with one of the cloth ones, and I thought, oh no, they'll start to stink and get all stained. I thought, nah. I thought I'll go with the fake leathers, because you can just wipe it down.
No.
But I mean, in the end, I've got an old military. It's got a little blanket thing. So it's a US one I got when I was over there on tour, and I basically I draped that over the seat to try and stop the the old participation.
The sweat. Yeah.
Participation. Oh, yeah. What do you call it?
Perspiration.
Participation. Perspiration, yeah. You know what it makes me think of? That makes me think of, what was it? Oh, telemetry.
Telementary. No, it was telementary. It was telementary, my dear Watson.
From last night. Well, embarrassing. Somebody couldn't see the word telemetry last night, and it was actually quite funny.
Yeah, we had a good laugh about it.
Yeah, I could chuck about that last night. But yeah, I mean the frame, the racing position. I mean, I do like it. Does suit my stature. I'm only 5'7", and it does work well for me.
Holy shit, you're
just
short.
Hey,
you're short.
How tall are you?
6'2.5".
Oh yeah, the half matters, doesn't it? Really? We're not measuring your penis here. Jesus Christ, oh, under half. Oh, 7.5. Oh, fantastic.
Oh, my son is 6'4".
Okay. Yeah. So so cons are obviously the frame, the frame and the seat. That's the frame itself. It is really, really sturdy. I mean, the wheel does not budge an inch.
Yeah, no, neither. Nor does mine.
Now, one thing I was looking at, you better tell me about this now. One thing I was looking at was the Inside Sim Racing done a review of the seat you've got.
Yes.
And one of the cons were on it was the flex in the foot plate.
Yes.
Now, it was the video was, I think the video was like
5 years old.
This review. Yeah. Has that been amended, or is there still a
I had mentioned I had originally saw this seat when I was looking to buy one before I bought my GTR simulator. That was that, and the fact that it was only the set was originally only drilled for Logitech gear. Of course, this was all before Xbox One and PS4, and Thrustmaster became the predominant wheel to go with. Logitech is now the one trailing behind, so it's not the popular one. So, of course, the company did finally switch over to drilling out for everybody else, so you can mount Logitech, Thrustmaster, or Fanatic on it. And as far as the flex on the foot pedal, what they did is the rail or the tubing that goes along the bottom from the seat to where, of course, you've got your the wheel prop stand on, and then which goes to the pedals. What they did is they added another foot to that and put a bend in it. So now the foot pedal actually rests on part of the frame. So there is literally no movement now in that
Okay.
pedal. And of course,
Yeah, 'cause what's
the pedal plate is now also drilled out, so you can mount any pedals on there at all too. So again, solid, no movement. All the cons that I had seen in that. If you watch that video from Inside Sim Racing about the open wheeler, all the
it
cons they
doesn't
mentioned
give it
have been rectified.
I mean, they gave it a 9 out of 10 on on the rev scale.
Yes.
But when I saw the flex in the plate, I thought, oh, it's a bit bendy. Like, I mean, even with the plate, you get a little bit of flex.
Yeah.
Not a lot. It's not a lot.
Oh, I get none.
It's quite rigid. But yeah, no, that's
the other nice thing that they started doing with the open wheeler is, you know how you have your pedal plate, and of course mounted, it's centered right on the set, right? Well, what the pedal plate on the open wheeler has is it has 3 separate holes. You can mount the pedal plate from side to side, so I can move the pedal plate a little bit more to the right or a little bit more to the left, depending on what foot you have. You like to brake with, so you don't have to worry about the bar in the center, your leg hitting that bar or whatever. So that's what I did, is I mounted the pedal plate just a little bit more to my right, because I brake and accelerate with the right foot. So I have no issues. I don't use the clutch really, but I have, again, my foot doesn't my leg doesn't hit the bar for the clutch either, so I have perfect room for everything.
Yeah, I mean, it came to like last night. Obviously, we were talking about this last night, and obviously, I'd spoken to Junior about, because he's got the same frame as I do.
Yeah.
About the fact of where the frame sits, because you can see the adverts for these. It looks like it's a really long frame, and that the mount that holds actually the wheel in the pictures, and it's always like halfway along that bottom run.
Mm-hmm.
In reality, if you choose to buy one, that will end up sitting flush with the foot plate. So it's not at your knees, it's pretty much at your ankles.
Yeah.
So if you are going to go with a 3 pedal set, this is where there's a con involved. Now, I know Junior's done some alterations so he can operate it. Because it's at your ankles, you don't have that freedom that you would have in a car, to flip between the pedals.
Right.
So, if you were going to use a 3 pedal set, I would not recommend a play seat. I'd recommend something else that doesn't have the bar where it's situated, because that is a bit of a con for it.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you're comfy.
Oh, Coughlin also comfy with his new SimTech or whatever he got. He's got a new one, which he originally had the play seat, and he's happy to be rid of it.
Yes, he was speaking to me the other day. Now it's been announced, and he's told everyone he's got it. He was speaking to me on the day where he was talking to the guy about it. He says, the guy wants X mount, and Coughlin put a bid in. And I said, bloody hell, mate, that's a bit low. I said, that's a bit rude. I thought, there's no way the guy's going to say yes. The guy was that desperate for the money, he said yes. And the next phone call I got off Coffee was, he was literally on his way down. He was on his way down. And he was honestly, he was so excited. I've not seen him like that for a while. So excited. So yeah, 3 videos later, we finally got the footage that we wanted. And obviously he's done a little video. And I think it's good that he's back on a setup, because with that you're going to have the regular Twitch feeds that we used to have with Coffee, which was also a kind of a key feature within the GLC when he was racing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's nice to see him back. It is nice.
Yeah.
I'm kind of jealous and he raced well, because it's a nice frame.
Yeah, he raced pretty well last night. So I know the way he used to race with his old setup, and between that and a controller, I always thought he was better on the controller. I don't know what it was, but that's what he did yesterday with his new setup. He raced pretty consistently, and he was pretty good with it. So I'm thinking maybe the new setup will be fine. Also, the fact that I do believe he's not running 100%. force feedback on
No.
that wheel, which is what
No,
which
he's
is
not.
what hurt him the last time.
I think he's learned from that. And in addition to this is which I was quite surprised at. He's a great racer, and he was very competitive last night. Very competitive.
Yes,
But
but he was still having
shifting
fun
from
though
the
too.
right. Yeah.
Yes,
he was
it's nice
shifting
to
from
see
the right
him having the
rather
shifter on the
than
proper
left.
side. Yes, it's nice to see that.
Fucking proper side.
Yeah, you got a good American race car.
So, oh, for God's sake.
Well, the funny part, I was teasing him about that, and he had sat there and said that Aga, which is of course Mrs. C, if you've ever been introduced to her, the better half, she likes it because she's used to it when she travels back and forth from where she's from and stuff, and she goes home to visit families or whatever. She's used to it because, of course, you know, the UK being one of the few abnormalities that put the steering wheel on the wrong side of the car.
I've never been called an abnormality before. I've been called a few things, I really have. But an abnormality, that's...
well, yeah, we never understood why you guys did that. Why'd you change it?
Aren't you lucky I don't have feelings?
You, even if you did, I probably wouldn't care. I don't care about most people's feelings.
No, you wouldn't give a shit, would you? No, you wouldn't give a shit. No,
I'm an American. What do you want?
People, he's heartless.
Be lucky I don't send a drone after you.
Oh, God's sake. Oh, hey, it's weird you say that. I was watching a clip on I think it was YouTube. Was it YouTube? Yeah. And a guy suspected his missus was cheating.
Yeah.
Right? And he followed her using a drone and then posted it to YouTube. Now, it does look a little bit suspicious. You know, she walks a hell of a long way to meet somebody, you know, rolls up in a 4x4 at the back of some parking lot.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking, if you knew she was cheating, then why go to the effort? Because, like, you know, you just see this little speck get in a car. It's that bad that you need to fly a drone to follow your wife. I suspect that, you know, maybe it's time for a divorce.
Yeah, but see, I don't know how it works over there. Over here, if you've got proof of the infidelity, it works much better in your favor, and you could get awarded much more in a court because she's the wrong.
I think it's the same in the UK. I think.
Yeah. So the more evidence you have that she's the one, you know, in the wrong and
being a dick.
Yeah, she's the one doing it. It's easier on you, and you're apt to be able to have more leverage when it comes to the divorce, and because, you know, some states divorce has to be amicable, and if both people don't agree to divorce, you're not allowed to divorce. So,
well, look at Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie.
I prefer not to.
Well, you look at Brad, I look at Angelina.
I've never understood how people consider her attractive. I think she's a fucking butt ugly
she
wench.
Used to be.
No, she's never been. She's never been attractive.
Tomb Raider. Oh, yeah.
She's never been
and
attractive.
Then, Gone in 60 Seconds. Fantastic.
It's just like Pamela Anderson. You know when Pamela Anderson was you know when she was good looking? When she was Lisa the Tool Girl on Home Improvement, and she didn't have all that stupid plastic surgery.
Yeah.
That's when she looked good. After that, she went fucking downhill.
Tim.
But no, she's after Pamela Anderson got all that cosmetic surgery and started doing Playboy, she made herself ugly. I'm sorry.
Howdy, neighbor.
Howdy ho, neighbor.
Oh, howdy ho, neighbor. Oh.
I don't think so, Tim.
Honestly, that's really good. Yeah, so obviously we had a cracking night's racing last night.
Yep.
And obviously we are
comfortable cracking night of racing.
Continuing with racing.
I'll tell you what, it was so good that we actually kept Junior online until 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, I believe.
Which might be helpful now because Kelly might not let him race today in the Sunday League.
You won't believe this. My laptop has just pinged, right? Because obviously we use the app on on the Xbox. Can I have an invite?
From who?
Reply to this. From Coffee. Doing podcast, chief. There we go. I'll just respond to him there. Doing podcast. There we go. What we talk about?
Good cracking night of
Anderson,
racing.
plastic surgery,
Um,
racing. Yeah.
so
Oh yeah,
yeah, we
Junior
had the
half past
24
one.
laps of Le Mans yesterday with the
I had
LMP
two.
ones, and it was basically it became a race between me and Coughlin. And unfortunately, Coughlin's car was not very fuel efficient, so he had to stop a couple times for fuel.
Really?
Yes, and it
Whoa.
cost him the race because I only needed to stop once because my car held I think 17 more liters or gallons. I'm not sure what the game puts it in, but I held 17 of whatever it was more than his, so I was able to
Well,
just
that's
do one
strange
pit
that
stop.
because obviously I started with the Aston Martin, and when that was filled to the max,
Hmm.
you could only get 9 laps in it.
No, no, I a full.
No, it depends where you got it set, top speed acceleration.
Yeah, maybe, but the tune I was using on my Aston Martin LMP1 was very fuel efficient. I filled up the fuel tank with 90. Um, I'm sure it's probably liters, so 90 liters, and
Oh,
it allowed me to do the whole 24 laps with just one pit stop.
jammy fucker. Fucking hell.
Oh yeah.
Well, obviously, Le Mans wasn't my race.
No.
I had 2 laps, and we'll leave it there. But I didn't think I would enjoy Nordschleife as much as I did yesterday. Now, had Ark and that come on for that other race, I think I may have ended up enjoying it, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
How
it
many
was
laps
it
did we go
was
on Nordschleife yesterday? Was it 4 or 5?
on what the when we raced it, we only did 2 laps.
Yeah, but we done some before that, didn't we? Because we done a multitude of laps
Oh well.
throughout the night last night. I mean,
Oh
some
no, we only
serious
did it once. We did other
miles.
races.
Yeah, some of the other races. Yeah, we done some serious miles yesterday.
Yes, yeah. Oh yeah. Well, what when he came on, what we started screwing around, just 4 to 5 laps a race, except for the Nordschleife where we only did 2, which still counts for 4 to 5 laps other tracks. So yeah, we were averaging 4 to 5 laps a race for a good 5 hours.
I tell you what I will say about the GT3s in K cars.
They're the best.
If you think the Porsches are good in Forza, you need to get some P cars.
Yeah.
Different kettle of fish.
Well, even the
I'm
McLaren.
actually,
When I tried that
I'm actually,
McLaren last night, I couldn't believe how awesome
yeah.
that car was. It's absolute shit in Forza.
I like things like the McLaren and Mercedes and stuff. Straight line speed, good. But I mean, I'm fine with sort of driving cars. I don't think I drive it and that I enjoy the M3 and stuff. But Brands Hatch, I was loving that last night, throwing the car around there. And then we done obviously Bannock Brain stuff. And I didn't hit the wall. Obviously, when we done that in the league, I smashed out, didn't I? Straight into the wall. Fantastic. In my home country, and I smashed it straight to the side of that pub. I didn't get a pint afterwards. So disappointed I was.
Yeah, no, but no, I'm very looking forward to the beginning of the new year. As we mentioned before about the Project Cars hiatus. Project Cars will be taking a hiatus after these next 2 Sundays. We have 2 weeks left to the season 2, and then we'll be on hiatus, which is basically just taking a break for a couple of weeks to observe the holidays, because of course we got Christmas and New Year's coming up, and then after the first of the year,
my birthday.
and Ewok's a Christmas baby. He's a little baby Jesus.
I am special.
We'll be coming back with not only season 3 of Project Cars on Sunday, which I'm not sure whether we're going to run the LMP ones or something else, but we'll let you know. But definitely Saturday nights. Saturday nights is going to be the GT3 Saturday nights. We are going to race GT3s all the time. That's all that's ever going to be raced on Saturday nights. It's the best class of car in the game. It's the most, I don't know, it's the most populated class because there's so many cars to use in that class. And believe it or not, they're all competitive. They're all good cars. It's not like Forza where, okay, we've got 15 cars to choose from, but only 3 are good or only 2 are good. And when it comes to project cars, we have 15 cars to choose from, and guess what? All 15 of them are competitive. All 15 of them can win a race.
Yes.
And it's just weird. That's just gonna. I'm hoping, especially with this merger with the Project Cars Clean Racing League club that we partnered up with, we're going to be able to get some really great GT3 racing. Like I said, we're looking at 15-week seasons with a couple of breaks in between the season to throw in a couple of cups, mix things up. But it's going to be real long. We're going to be taking out the bonus points altogether. There's not going to be any bonus points for fastest laps or nothing like that. It's just going to be where you finish. That's where you're going to get your points. So if you want more points, you better do better. That's all there is to it. It's going to be very competitive. I'm looking forward to it. Really am.
I mean, you're talking about mixing it up, mate. I'm gonna move over to F1 just for a minute because obviously this will go nicely with a prediction that you made. Now, for those of you who haven't listened prior to this, Guy made a prediction that Binary, who runs for Mercedes, would win the season. Now, our roster now in F1 is full. I think we've got one space. Sorry, we've got one space. But 2 new members join recently, and they have taken themselves into the.
Speak up, Ewok. We can't hear you.
Sorry, they've taken themselves into Team Silver. Now these guys are direct competition for Binary. There's been a bit of banter in the chat, and I think Binary is. I think he's nervous. I do. I generally think he's nervous.
Yeah, but they're coming in too late
to his title.
No, they're coming in too late to take his title.
No, but it might be enough to stop him getting the wins. If he's not getting the wins, then it gives everyone else a chance just to close that gap. And to be honest, the gap at the top isn't that big. It's really not that big at the minute. So it's going to be interesting to see what these 2 guys do. The guys that joined are F1XL Sans and F1XL Ricardo, obviously friends of F1XL Sam, and these guys are fast. So I think Gally might be eating his words in this.
No.
This is nothing against Binary. He's a consistent, fast, hard driver. But these guys, I would predict, are going to be a direct threat to his title.
No.
I genuinely believe that.
No.
Because they're fast, it's definitely going to be a disruption. I think Binary may have to change tact for the rest of the season. No. I genuinely believe this, mate. So you're saying no, but the thing is, you're not there week in, week out, and there's been a couple of times where Binary's made a bit of a.
I'm there in spirit, man.
I mean, literally, right? We've just done Belgium, right? We have got 6, 7 races to go. Obviously, only 21 on the calendar. We've just done number 13. So 6 races. That's 6 chances where he wouldn't get his 25 points to give him, that top spot. And it's only 37 points between him and Loki at the top. So I think there's enough there to disrupt it. Is it that one I'm knocked off top? Not that at all. I just think it's going to be a very, very interesting second half of the season. Now, we're getting quite a bit of interest in F1. It's going to get to the point now that we quite possibly, may have to run 2 different leagues on F1. There's a partnership brewing, another F1 lot. So, more drivers inbound. And there's also so many slots within one league, so it might have to move to 2 leagues, which I never saw that coming. F1's getting nice and busy, which is, it's really, really good. I think as a whole, the race club as a whole in the GLC is very strong right now. F1's busy, Forza's busy, Project Cars is, it's getting there. From week to week to week, we are, the strength is building and building. And by the time 2017 comes, we are going to be a formidable force. I think we're well on our way.
We've picked up a couple of guys between ARC, which I did speak to ARC about the whole Nordschleife thing. And what happened is, while during the promotion, he says nobody messaged him or responded to any of the promoting for it. So he just figured nobody was interested in it, even though both me and Junior both told him that we were interested and we were both going to be there. So I'm not sure what happened there, but he just didn't show up. He decided to watch movies with his kids, so he just didn't show up. So whatever, but he's a very good racer. He's a very decent guy, and
he's a nice guy. He is a nice guy.
And then we also picked up another person who's going to be interested in joining us. He's probably more on the lines of a Superior Rain or even this new Audi driver that Mr. Coughlin brought in, a friend of his. They're not very fast, but they're coming in because they want to have some fun. But Passy Demos is also somebody we picked up from the club. So we've picked up at least 3 more drivers that are hopefully going to be joining in more often. So we are definitely growing, and I'm hoping. Oh, plus the owner of that club we merged with after the first of the year, in the new year, he's not going to be working on a night shift anymore, so he's going to be joining us. He's looking forward to it all too. So we are definitely growing. We are definitely getting more drivers, and it's just a shame that more people that are already in the GLC are so attached to Forza, because there is so much fun to be had on Project Cars.
Yeah. Just try to look at there's a few where is it? I'm looking at some Forza thing.
Speak up.
Lost it. So I was trying to look at something on the website there. Can't find it.
What?
Oh, I've lost my track, mate. I saw doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I saw something earlier and I can't find it again. Something to do with Forza. But yeah, I mean, do you think that? Do you think that obviously Forza 7? Obviously will be coming in no time, obviously.
No.
Is that going to be a threat to Project Cars?
If Turn 10 keeps the same formula ongoing for Forza and keeps it more of an arcade racer than a simulator, yes, it's a simcade, blah 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 blah. It's got simulator aspects to the game, but flat out, the game is nowhere near an actual sim racer. It doesn't even breach cross the line. It is an arcade racer.
Last night, didn't we?
It is an arcade racer, plain and simple. And as long as they stay that way and they don't approach the new game and try to do things more like Project Cars and Assetto Corsa, then it's just going to be the same old thing. It'll be something I'm completely not interested in. If the Forza ever wants me back, they need to make their game more like Project Cars and be a real simulator and not the bullshit that it is with the stupidity.
Yeah, but they won't do that because the fan base loves it, the way it is.
Exactly. The reason they love it is because the game is so easy, because it's not a simulator. It's an arcade.
Now, we had something quite funny last night. Who's it that told us about this was, I don't think it was Junior possibly told us about this guy who made a claim that between Forza and P cars.
That was me. I was talking to Ark.
Was you talking to Ark? Right. Do you want to tell the troops about this? This is really funny.
I was talking to Archaeos, or whatever. I forget his full gamer tag, but we just call him Ark.
Yeah.
I was talking to him after everybody had left Saturday, and he was telling me about a friend he has that he who raced Forza. He liked Forza. I just want to make it clear. We're not saying Forza is a bad game. It's just a different type of game. And if that's what you like and that style is what you like, then that's fine. I have no issues with that. The game is good. It's fantastic for what it is. I'm not downplaying Forza at all, but it's not what I'm interested in anymore. I want to do more things closer to actual real racing, which is why I moved to Project Cars. So this guy, Ark, finally talks into trying Project Cars. So he tries the whole Project Cars, and after a while, he just starts complaining. And Ark was like, "Well, what's wrong with it?" He says, "Well, there's no realism in the game." And Ark was perplexed. He was like, "What do you mean there's no realism? Give me an example." He's like, "Well, take the track for instance. Okay, what about it? The sun reflects off of it. Okay, what's wrong with that?" Well, that's not realistic. And it's like, and he's telling me this, and I'm asking him, I'm like, did you ask him if he's ever driven a car in real life? Because the sun most certainly does it, and of course Art told me it does that because it's a sticky surface. It's the type of pavement or tarmac or whatever you are. It's the type of product they use for the surface. But it does it even in. I mean, if you go in your car and you're approaching, and you're in the summertime, or if you're in the desert and you're approaching a hill, does that hill not disappear and become mirrored at the very peak of it as you're going over the crest? Because that's what it does. The pavement or tarmac, whatever you want to call it, it reflects the sun's surface. So yes, it most certainly does. And he's complaining, saying that's just so unrealistic. I'm going back to Forza.
I thought it was funny when I heard that. I had a couple chuckle about it last night. I mean, what Gary said was right. We're not downplaying Forza. It'd be very hypocritical for us to really beat Forza up, considering we're ex-Forza racers.
Yeah,
it's just that
we moved on.
I grew out of it. I mean, probably the best way. Yeah, I grew out of it. I wanted something different.
Yeah, I wanted real racing myself. I didn't want to sit there and race against guys anymore who were doing things that were, let me put a new engine in. Let me swap out my engines. Let me do this. Let me do that. Let me see what I can do to make the car faster. No, I wanted to do actual real racing where your car has to be spec'd the same as everybody else. You can't sit there and do all kinds of different special things. Yes, you could have cars in real racing have different engines. They have different manufacturers, but they're still spec'd the same. They have requirements they have to meet to stay within that class. And that's what I want to do. I want to race against people that are racing in a car that's spec'd out to be within that class, and then show me you're that good. Don't sit there and in Forza, take your GT3 class car and try and turn it into an LMP by swapping out engines. That's just bullshit, and that's what I got fed up with. I got tired of the guys drag racing the corners, and they can't take the corners for jack shit. Okay, it got too frustrating, and it's just like, I want to race against guys who actually want to race. And of course, these guys that pissed me off, they're not in Forza anymore. The Forza side is mostly all new people, which I haven't really gotten to know because I don't play the game anymore, but it's gotten really good. Mal has brought in a lot of new guys. It has grown, and they're having a good time, and I'm happy for them. I really am. But what pissed me off, it was before these guys joined the GLC, and it was just something I didn't want to do anymore, and so I moved to Project Cars, and I'm happy with that. I wish more people would give the game a try. It's not anywhere near as bad as when it first came out, which most people graded on. It had a bad release, so they figure the game is just always crap. But they fixed it, and the game, in my book, it is the best racer out there, unless you're going to pay for iRacing on a PC. It is the best racer out there. It's even better than Assetto Corsa, which I'm hearing Assetto Corsa has new upgrades that have really improved that game on console.
Now, it's really very good that you say that. On Friday, your Friday project, we were talking about this, Assetto Corsa. Now, there has been updates to Assetto Corsa. Now, the biggest difference to it is the graphics, right? They updated the graphics. Like, that's what's wrong with the game. You know what I mean? There's other things they could have done. They decided, no, it needs a graphics upgrade. There's a few other tweaks they've done to it, but nothing major. Nothing that's going to change or amend the errors that currently exist in the game. And it's a great shame. It is a great shame. It had the potential of being a fantastic game. Everybody was excited about getting it. At one point, I said, "Oh no, it's going to be way, way too simulator for me. I can't race it." And bought it and was like, "This is terrible, terrible." You mentioned Mal there. Now, Mal's been. If people haven't noticed, Mal is being a Twitch whore. He's twitching every bloody day right now. For those who don't know, Mal has now got his own man pad, cracking internet connection
with fiber.
So he's just abusing, the connection, and doing anything and everything he can with it. So he's twitching practically every day. His race, I was watching some of his races, and Mal's really powering through right now. He's obviously enjoying himself, as he would. He's got his own place now, so he can relax and just sit there in his stained underwear and his nipple tassels playing Forza. It's what he needs to do. Because let's be honest, when you speak to Mal on WhatsApp and stuff, he never seems busy.
I think Mal.
No.
Mal's very happy.
Extended lunch breaks and stuff.
Mal's very happy. We actually enticed Junior over into Project Cars and got Junior to try it out, and now of course Junior is loving Project Cars as well, and Mal's really happy about that because now Mal has a chance to win more races because Junior's racing on Project Cars.
There just seems to be a bit of an influx now within GLC and within the race club, and it's good. We're getting fresh blood in, and we're getting a good mixture of people. Experienced, everyone from the ones that have a little bit of experience to the ones that have a lot of experience, and that's across all the racing games.
Yeah.
And I think it's what the GLC needed. Just that it's almost like a culling. You get rid of the dead weight. Not being rude. The ones that aren't interested.
Yeah, and you know what? You bring that up, and I wanna touch on something that went kind of sideways Saturday. Yes, a lot of people that are involved in racing games, whether it be Forza, Project Cars, whatever, we're very competitive people. And we can get that way at certain times, even when we're screwing around. And we're just like last night. It never happened last night because, of course, most of us, pretty much we all knew each other. There wasn't any new people in the party. But
yeah.
The thing is when we're not when we're racing leagues, yes, we expect respect to other drivers. We expect you to respect the quiet, that are people needing to concentrate, not be blaring music through your headsets, not be sitting there having conversations with other people in the room at your house. If you're going to do that, then mute your mic. If you're, don't sit there and sing into your microphone while the rest of us are trying to drive, and then of course
people do that.
And then you're sitting there. Well, it's what I do to relax. Then that's fine. Mute your mic. Just mute your mic. We're not telling you not to do that, but mute your mic. But when you need to tell somebody you're passing them, unmute your mic and tell them. Then mute your mic back and go along humming your song or singing your song or whatever. But that's of course in the league. You need to have good mic etiquette, and it doesn't matter whether it's Forza or Project Cars. We expect it, we require it, and you need to do it, plain and simple. Now, when it comes to social get-togethers, we can't be too stringent upon that. We're just getting together. All we're asking is that you don't be too ridiculous with the noise in the background, but for those that get bothered by things like music in the background or guys who want to continuously keep talking, Rev, uh, you just you, you need to
I almost missed that.
you almost need you need to learn how to deal with these people. Okay, if some guys being like people who use their Connect, they're going to be louder than everybody else, and they're going to have a lot more background noise. So mute them.
You?
If you don't want to mute them, or you don't want to mute people because you want to be able to hear, adjust your volumes. And if you can't do that on your headset, then you need to get a headset to where you can adjust the the chat volume and the game volume differently. Okay, when you got somebody who's you people that are extremely noisy, crank up the volume to the game, so that way you're hearing a lot more of the game noise than you hear of the chat noise, but you can still somewhat, if you wanted to pay attention to what was going on in the chat, hear what's going on in chat. Some of us, like me, I can easily drown people out. You could be sitting there screaming into your microphone, and if I don't want to concentrate I don't hear you. Plain and simple. If I ignore you, I'm not going to hear you. I mean, what was that?
Yeah. Even a polite message, instead of losing it in party and what have you, even try to send the person a message. Hey, sorry, mate. You start making you keep it down.
No. When we're in social gatherings, you have no right to tell people to keep anything down.
No.
You need to take care of it in your own headset. I'm sorry. You might not agree with me, but that's just the way it is. It's my Xbox. I'll do whatever I want. You leave the party, or mute me, or turn me down by turning up the game volume. That's just tough shit. And I stick up for everybody. And then yes, we have those instances where we're screwing around, but then all of a sudden we're getting to a very tense moment or a very serious moment, like if we're on Nordschleife and it's just coming down to we're neck and neck, da 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 da. If somebody says, can you just keep it down for a minute? Just what's the big deal? Just shut the fuck up for a couple of minutes until the race is over or whatever's going on is over. Yeah. I mean, do you need to constantly talk every second of the goddamn day? No. Be respectful to other people too. But you know what? I don't know. It's just some people are offended when you ask them to just hold it down for a second or whatnot. I mean, and if that's the type of people, and granted, you got to learn people sometimes when you get new people into parties, and you end up learning what people right off the bat you want to mute. I mean, there's people we used to have in GLC that I would never let come through my headset. I just muted them right off the bat because I didn't want to accidentally hear what they said, because I just didn't care anything that came out of their mouth. What?
I've muted Gally several times, but being that he's the other half of the media team, I've got to unmute him. It's just really disturbing. But FYI, Nordschleife, right? You mentioned Nordschleife. I forgot about this. Anyone who says you can't get 3 cars abreast across the track in Nordschleife on a corner
in Project Cars,
you can. Yeah, me, Gally, and Junior. I just thought I'd mention that.
That was the carousel.
Big turn. Carousel, yeah. We came off the carousel, 3 of us side by side. No, that was it.
The track is much wider in Forza, so it's much easier in Forza.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
No.
There's
parties are going to be one of these things, and everybody has their own lives going on, and when you put a microphone into the mix, you can't always control what's happening at the other end, and you have to appreciate that people have lives. I mean, we've got guys in F1, right, who don't have the luxury of having a spare bedroom, living alone in a single cave. They've got a full family, and their Xbox may be in the front room, maybe in the kitchen, and they have like wives, kids, dogs. Sometimes you just have to accept that there is going to be some background noise.
Yeah.
And it's down to you to manage and evaluate as to what you deem is acceptable and what's not. And if it's not, then just manage it in the right way. I think that's what we're trying to get at. Just manage it in the right way. Don't be disrespectful. Don't get yourself into an argument. Don't lose your temper. And at the end of the day, think about it. It's a game. Whether it's league racing or a social lobby, it's all about socialising and having fun. And if you get yourself all pissed off and angry and lose the plot over a bit of noise, then whose fun are you ruining? You're only ruining your own. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah.
It's just something we've recently run across, and it was an issue a while back, and it's just something that now that we're mixing with new people might become an issue again. So it's just we're putting it out there, It's expecting quiet when we're racing in league is one thing. Expecting it in social gatherings, it's just that's a little too much. You can't sit there and tell people that they can't be they have to be quiet all the time. Social gatherings that's what they are. They're just there for social gatherings, meant to be nothing but screwing around. And again, if that's what happens, that's what mute buttons are for.
Right, I'm going to make a different subject actually. I'm going to make a request. This is to all the members of the GLC. Highlights, racing highlights. Okay. Let's see. Keep the clips down to about 2 minutes max. Yeah, 2 minutes max. Even a minute, depending on what's happening. Start recording your instances, incidents, events, things that are happening on track. What we're trying to do is maybe every couple of weeks, depends how many I get, just doing a highlight reel, a race club highlight reel, and this will cover Forza, Project Cars, and F1. Save it, send me a message to let me know that you've saved the clip. Give the clip a title and give the names of who's involved. It's just something we're going to try. It might not work. Depends how many people send stuff in. If no one does, then no harm done. But what I try and do is a highlight reel every couple of weeks, just for the race club. So 2 minute clips, a little bit of info. Send me a PM or see over Xbox Live, and then I'll pull it off xboxdvr.com or xboxclips.com. Now, talking about Xbox Clips and DVR, if you want your clips to be used by the media team, you need to make sure that your clips are set to public, and that's in your upload settings. If they're set to private, when we go into Xbox Clips, etc., we cannot see them. The web page will not show us them. You have to have them on public. This is something that came up with the F1. We were trying to look at a clip and we couldn't find it. That was down to the settings. Okay, no one's going to hack into your Xbox. It's just a clip of you racing. So set it to public. That way, if we need to use them, we can. And the more the merrier. And let's see what you got. So let's have some sort of interesting clips instead of generic ones, so we can get some decent highlight reels every couple of weeks. If it's slow, we'll do one a month. It's just something else I want to get up and running. So I'm requesting your assistance, GLC. Okie dokie.
Okie dokie.
That's what I want. That's what I want from them.
Alrighty. So,
Alrighty.
I do believe then that pretty much wraps up this episode of the GLC podcast. We've covered some.
How long has that been?
It's been long enough. We're under an hour.
Oh wait.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, but we didn't have a lot to talk about. We didn't have a guest, and I just wanted to. We did talk about quite a bit, and we covered some important things, some important information that people should know, and other information that people should just be reminded of. So I think we've accomplished that in this podcast, and now it's time for us to go have some more fun on Project Cars and get ready for tonight's league racing. Week 7.
Do we get week 7? What is it this week anyway?
Donington Park and Rapuna.
No, Donington I'm looking forward to. Rapuna, no. No. I don't like it. I don't like it. I really don't. Do you think we get an Xbox achievement for making sure the podcast was under an hour? Because this is a big deal. This is the fact
we've done it. We've done that already. We've already been under an hour in one episode. I think it was the second one.
It was like 57 minutes or something, wasn't it?
Something like that.
Yeah.
But other than that, so again, end of the podcast. We've given some information. Some of it is just like a little reminder. of what some people would expect, what you should, how etiquette, certain things, and then other times when, yeah, you're right, it's a little too much. So, um, other than that, I am Gallifrey Madman for my good friend Dirty Ewok 75. This is the end of the GLC podcast. Have a good evening.
Ta-da! So long, sucker!